Stinky Popcorn Boys.
We watch movies and eat popcorn.
Hello. We are the Stinky Popcorn Boys. Just some boys talking about movies and how they made us feel. I, believe it or not, am Patrick Basquall. And I would have loved to gone to a school with a cartoon character. And there's some days that I think that I am a cartoon character, but they just didn't get rendered out properly.
I could see that. You are a rascal. And I'm John Gilardi. Also, it sounds a little bit more me than Patrick sounds like Patrick, but it is me. It is John Gilardi. And anyways, I don't know. I just went to Disney World. I don't have anything clever, but it seems relevant to point that out.
Yeah, that's good to point out. And it is also, I think it's worth it to point out that both John and I are sick. I am sick with sickness. John is sick.
Unconfirmed. I got the COVID.
Unconfirmed, you've got the COVID?
I'm confirmed I got the COVID.
Yeah.
You're unconfirmed.
I'm unconfirmed. Well, I got one negative test. But
yeah.
I don't know. The signs, I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, so we sound a bit rough, but we're here trucking through.
We're here for you.
And,
we're here for you. We're here with you. Come along with us. And, this is the only time my voice is ever going to sound like this, where I'm just like right in your ear. And now John, if you couldn't hear it, I was just like really close to the microphone, just letting the reverberations of my voice.
We should get some voice acting gigs while you have this voice right now.
Yeah. I did a D&D last night, and I was like, this is the only way I'm gonna get this voice. So I did a character with that voice.
Did you do it virtually or in person?
Did it in person because I got a negative test, John.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, all right. I hear the judgment, and I'm like,
I'm not judging.
No, you're judging.
No.
Big judgment.
No, I'm not.
Big judgment. Big daddy. Daddy over there. And like,
all you want to do is, I get it. All you want to do is just live life normal, and you got that pass. I'm ready for this to be over. I am. Now we got the monkeypox, which is like a level 2 CDC thing. Whatever that means.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Yeah, it never ends. People say this is the age of pandemics. God, can't speak.
Pandemics.
Anyways, what do we watch? We watch Rescue Rangers, the new straight to Disney Plus animated hybrid live action film. It's think Roger Rabbit, but made today. It's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
In a very simplified sense. Even so much the fact that the cartoon characters are in our world and they can have jobs where they're acting and stuff, And so, yeah, I mean, that's what it is. And it's centered around Chip and Dale and how they were these two friends who came up and they got a job in Hollywood on this show called The Rescue Rangers, which we know and love.
What I love
in a real world.
What I love is that they had several appearances before they got to that. Is that they like essentially were like working actors. It's very interesting
as
stuff.
Extras.
Yeah, as extras.
God, what's that show? The
Full
Olsen
House
twins and Full House. Yeah, that was a good one where they're just dancing in the background. And yeah, my I watched Rescue Rangers as a kid, but I wasn't a fan necessarily. And since then, my most kind of Rescue Ranger-y thing that I've seen is the whole Gadget thing. There's like a cult of dudes in Russia who worship her and want to marry her.
Oh,
and so
what?
The fact that there's new media around Gadget, the mouse, but she's shipped with the fly or the mosquito or whatever.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. And I wonder if they're upset or if they're just happy they have more. It's such a weird dynamic. It's such a weird like corner of the internet thing. Anyways, that's my exposure to this. But that's to say, and not in a spoilerly way, you don't need to be a Rescue Rangers fan or a Chip and Dale fan to enjoy this movie at all. It's not about the Rescue Rangers. If you are a Rescue Rangers fan, I'm sure it enhances the film even tenfold. I don't know. It's an arbitrary number, but I don't see why it wouldn't. But as a fan of animation and nostalgia and kind of showbiz, seeing how the sausage is made, comedy, it has everything. And that's kind of my thesis, and I'll get into it more, but I don't know. Do you have anything to add on the surface?
Yeah, I mean, as someone who didn't really pay attention to the Rescue Rangers outside of my biggest stuff with like any of these characters was the Christmas Carol, the Scrooge McDuck Christmas Carol.
With a hula hoop. I always remember that line.
Yeah. But that was my sort of biggest sort of like attachment with these characters. I didn't really I watched Looney Tunes and stuff, but I didn't watch. I don't know. Maybe I was too old, or maybe I was too young, and like they had switched to new stuff by the time that I had got there. Because if their top years were 1991, then it's like I was a baby. That wasn't for me. But yeah, I mean, it still hits because it's still, I don't know. It's almost funnier, I feel like, if you don't know that it's real. Or you don't know the fucking whole thing with Chip and Dale. Like, you didn't follow it at all. Like, if you don't give a shit about it. Like me, where it's just like, it's just funny.
Yeah, and you don't need it. And, and it stars John Mulaney and Andy Samberg as Chip and Dale, who are pretty good, I think, castings, and definitely the knowing who those actors are kind of gives you the vibe of who the characters are right there. Yeah, and they perform them to a T. That's great.
I wonder if they did motion capture for like all these scenes.
It's possible if they did like your iPhone, you can do that with those like emojis. I can't imagine it'd be hard to program one of these for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, not really. Like, you think they shot it on an iPhone?
No. You haven't used these on iPhones. You can use an emoji and it'll map your face in real time.
Yeah. Like the Memoji or whatever.
Yeah, so it looks like that. Or it could be. I mean,
but what
I
I'm
don't see
saying
why
is,
that
like,
would be.
They have these like sets built out. Do you think that they just used regular sets and then had them do sort of like pseudo motion capture in the sets?
If they did, they used stand-ins. I don't think.
You don't think that Andy Samberg and John Mulaney were in there doing stuff? I'm always curious. I'm always curious for
a straight to streaming movie where I feel like the appeal of being a voice.
But they've been working on this for a while.
It's minimal work. Really?
But I think that
I don't know then.
I think that they've been attached to it for a minute. I don't know. Rescue Rangers. This is not important. What did you like about it, John?
Well, I guess to sell more of the synopsis of the film, to get into the plot, the stakes, is they're having a big success. Dale or Chip, I don't know. One of them is like, I want to go solo. And he goes solo and it ruins the big show for everyone, and everyone's career falls apart. And then it fast forwards to 20 years in the future.
It's Dale, my friend.
Yeah, it's Dale. Dale's the one that does his own show. Anyways, the ship goes to the future, and everyone's kind of a burnout, just trying to make their way. And so that's the story. And then there's some organized crime happening as they're being kind of washed burnouts, and it I don't know. It's a mystery, kind of detective. Again, the Rescue Rangers, they're detectives. And so it naturally carries over to that. In terms of things I liked, I love that it was another treasure hunt movie, in a sense.
Yeah. Or like an investigation.
God, I'm blanking. Ready Player One. Yeah. Was a good one like that. And then you have this one. And then you could pick up stuff at every scene, and there's I don't know, like the ads when they're walking down the street are pretty good. Yeah. And there's the Batman versus whatever. I forgot what Batman's versing, but there's a pretty good matchup there. There's like Gucci Dobby ad in the background, which is really good. There's a huge Ugly Sonic cameo, which is great. And I remember on day two of this movie being out, IGN just posted, "Oh, that Ugly Sonic cameo was crazy, right? It was just a picture of him in the movie, and I was like, Jesus.
It gave it away.
That's dumb. Anyway, so
are you talking about
it's
them
hard to-
spoiling it for you? The internet spoiling this fun, weird thing?
yeah, I mean, it's internet doing it is one thing, but like a big publication, just like, come on,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
smarter than that.
That's what you mean by treasure hunt. It's like it's treasure hunt for you, like where
Yeah,
there's like
yeah.
a bunch of stuff. I gotcha. I was like,
there's even
it's
like
sort of a treasure hunt. It's kind of more like
on
you know.
a rewatch, there was just a generic animated boy in their school scene.
Yeah.
It looked like Ash Ketchum, like an off-brand Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
So
those
there's
that
a
are
lot
like
of-
sort of like this, and you get it even later. So, I guess we'll just keep spoiling this movie as it goes. But it's like you get that even more later whenever they get to the off-brand stuff, and you have like you see the off-brand character, like what they've been turned into, like
Yeah, the
Fish
bootleg.
Girl or whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You with me?
I don't remember that one specifically.
I don't
but,
remember that one specifically. I was just saying, like, I was trying to, like, Dutch girl in the water. Dutch girl in the water. For Little Mermaid.
I'm not. Yeah, but I mean, they have rights to her, so I think that's just the joke of the bootlegging, right?
Yeah, that's
That's
what I was saying.
Yeah, gotcha. I like how I don't know. It's hard to. This is one of those movies where we talk about the good things, and I'm just gonna call things out as I'm watching in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a delightful movie where like almost every moment is not a gift. I don't. What am I looking for? Is a
There's a
It's just
feast. There's a
fun.
feast in the background.
it's a feast.
Which is, yeah. Because it is, like, one of the things that this movie does the best, I think, is the blending of... It's the blending of, A, the animation styles, and then, B, the worlds. Where it's just, like, the agreeance of everything to, like, that Chip is now working as insurance, coercive insurance, which is great. I love that. I hate insurance companies. Get fucked, you fucking idiots. And I just think that it's good. And then, like, having the different animation styles sort of, like, woven throughout all of them is, like, fucking cool as shit. And the fact that they would all, like, if they're all actors in these movies, like, it's, like, a very beautiful, like, if this, then this, where it's, like, if Frozone is a character created for this movie or is, like, an actor in the thing, of course he would want, you know, all these, he would want the fucking ad stuff. He would want his frozen meal, frozen meals, or et cetera, et cetera. Like, that they're just
take advantage of that.
and
You
then
gotta make your
also
money.
it plays in too because it's like, well, of course they're going to keep working. Like, they want to do other stuff, but like they've got to keep working. So it's like, are you really gonna say that Alvin and the Chipmunks can't keep working? As you're like, oh, I'm tired of these Alvin and the Chipmunks, like sequels. You know, they're like, they want to keep working. They don't want to do the same thing, but they got pigeonholed. You know, that's their job. That's their career.
What's the thing is, like, in this universe, are they like typecasted and relegated to that spot? You know, because I don't see where that wouldn't be the case, from what the film gives us, which is fine. It doesn't really matter, but it's just
Well, I
and
mean,
I guess that's like
if
the
it-
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Like, they probably got their 3D plastic surgery and they got that new opportunity. You know.
yeah.
But it's still they're playing within their space. They're not like branching out.
Well, and that's the
it's-
thing. So here's, like, that's the thing with, like, you know, you have a lot of flexibility with an animated character. And I'm going to just speak on this in the universe. You have a lot of flexibility with the in-universe character, but you are always going to be that. Like, whenever I see you, I can't cast you in Batman. I can't cast you as Batman because people are going to see you. They're going to know that you're Dale, okay? So I can't cast you as anything other than Dale from Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. You know, that's just what it is. You've got a beautiful opportunity here, but you can't branch out. Whereas, you know, there's sort of like a level of suspended disbelief for Robert Pattinson to be Batman. And
Yeah.
that's just the way that it is, baby. This is me, the casting agent for the next Batman movie.
Well, even then, it's like Dale's new show he was going to do was Double O Dale. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just sticking who they are, and so
Well,
I don't know. It's not.
They've
really
got
important.
to because
the
that's
movie's
what they
full
are.
Of those types of stuff.
They're almost like comedians, where it's like their personalities, not actors. Like where it's like they've got to play their role in that is the them. So even in Double O Dale, we got Dale doing regular Dale stuff, but he's just doing it like a super spy.
That's true. Jim Carrey, but he's Animal Guy. Jim Carrey, but he's
Exactly.
mad scientist. I don't know,
Exactly.
stuff like that.
Exactly.
This movie's full of stuff like that where it's like, okay, I'm just going to take it at face value because if I think about it, it's not going to make sense in terms of like the rules. Like, okay, so do they just play the one guy as we just talked about, or I don't know, anything like that? What is the I don't know, we don't see enough of like everyday people,
Yeah.
animated people. We only see the stars, so like does that lead us to believe they're the only ones?
Well,
that,
we see them in school, and then we also see Captain Putty.
Yes, we see
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
Captain Putty. But one thing I really liked in terms of not a specific moment, but one thing I could talk about that I really liked is that they weren't super protective of their properties.
Yeah.
And, like I could have seen them being super sanitized with it, but they weren't. Like they essentially defile Flounder, like a beloved character. They
stuff.
turn one of the OG Disney characters into a fat piece of shit villain. Peter Pan becomes Black Pete.
Yeah.
Or what? No, Black Pete, is that from Our Flag
That's
Means
from
Death?
Flag
What is
Means
he?
Death.
Sweet Pete. And I don't know, countless other things where they're not who do they call it? They make fun of someone for embezzling money. Jack Skellington.
Fuck. Jack Skellington is embezzling from his
It's a charity.
from his charities. Oh, and it's E.T. versus Batman. Batman versus E.T.
Oh my god.
Which is,
Yeah, so it's
if
like,
you think about it, that's essentially the same thing as Batman versus Superman. Superman's an alien.
Yep. Yeah. No, right on. So yeah, as a Disney property about Disney properties and even pulls in other stuff from like Warner Bros. And whatnot, which I guess they own now. I can't keep track anymore.
Disney
who and what
owns most things,
they own. Yeah.
property wise.
Anyways, they didn't treat it. I don't know. This felt like it wasn't made by Disney, which is a good cool thing. It just felt like a fun little. You gave the creators a sandbox to play in, and they made it. They made it independent of kind of overreach or oversight from the big boss.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And it didn't feel like a kids movie, but it felt very approachable for kids at the same time.
Yeah.
I think this movie is just extremely approachable to anyone who likes popular culture today, or any child who's coming up liking things. And I think that's its biggest strength. And I hope it's an easy recommend for me.
Who do you think this movie's for? Fast and Furious babies.
I think it's ultimately for our age.
Okay.
And
Old
older.
motherfuckers.
And maybe ultimately this is for young parents to watch with their kids. Excuse me.
Oh, God bless you.
Something that they could watch and have a really good time.
Yeah.
And then their kids can like the funny things, the big dog and the little chipmunks and all that stuff. The Captain Putty or whatever.
sad? Why is he sad?
That's my best answer. Like I think it is meant for 25 to 35, 25 to 40-year-olds. I think is the demographic that makes sense to me.
Well, they're the ones that, because they can put it on and they will enjoy it, and then also their kids will enjoy it. Like their kids
So
will
you
enjoy
agree?
it because, I mean, I agree. Basically, I agree. because it's not for like teenagers. It's not for, I don't know. It's not for teenagers, and it's not for like early 20s. I don't know. It could be kind of for them too. Whatever. I'm not gonna drop people out of it, but I think mainly it's for people like you said, like our age, and then also their kids, because it's animated, it's easy, and I think too that was probably one of the things for Disney letting them do everything, is they're like, you just can't have anybody fucking, and you can't have anything that's like obscene that wise, or like, because I don't think there's any cursing really in it either.
I don't think so. Nothing. I don't remember.
But you can, and again, this sort of goes to, this sort of goes to like, you don't need to curse or do any of that stuff for something to be pretty funny. And, it's not like change the world comedy, laugh out loud constantly, but it is fun. It's a feast to watch. Like, it's a fun world to play in. They really just like go balls to the wall with all the things. Yeah.
I agree with everything. Woody's, I don't know. It's, I was excited to talk about this one, but now that we are, it's like, it's so fun to talk. Like, I don't know if it's a fun one to talk about, but I think at the least the takeaway that I want people to have here, and I know we spoiled it, but like, watch this film and recommend this film, I think, because and there's tons of fun stuff out there, but I think this is a fun thing. And I think we need a lot of that stuff these days. And if this is 2 hours of bliss, that I know I can pretty much guarantee someone, like, I recommend it. Because it'll take you out for a second, and in a good way, because there's plenty of good stuff out there, and it's good, but you don't feel good from it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that's ultimately why I recommend it. Is it's fun. It'll make you feel happy.
Why does he keep getting stuff stuck on his back? Is it because
he's Putty?
Because he's Putty?
Yeah, I think they called him like a Gumby ripoff or something.
Yeah, they call him a Gumby ripoff for sure. I was thinking that maybe it's because he's a backstabber, and so keeps winding up on the back.
Just giving some what's the word? Foreshadowing.
That's
foreshadowing for sure.
So do you think that do you think that they have regular construction companies to build these small apartment complexes? Or
at least the framing.
Or do you think that they have like animated, like smaller characters? They're like, well, hold on. Like, do you think that there's ever like labor disputes or anything like that where it's like, hey, Bob, you took business away from us. There's only so many small person there's only so many animated apartment complexes that need to go up, and you can't take that business from us. And besides, you don't even know what to build. You don't know how to build this for animated people. Look at this. You don't even have a turpentine sink for people to wash other people's paint off of their hands or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is made by the smaller characters, or at least the structure is prefabricated, made by full-sized people.
They probably got a subsidy. They probably got a subsidy for this amount of space. They're like, hey, if you put like other.
Please excuse my gross noises.
Well, all my noises are gross.
Nah, it just sounds like a sultry man.
Sultry.
What were you saying?
I bet they probably get a subsidy for putting. I'm gonna sneeze here pretty soon, but they probably get a subsidy for putting a
look
a
at
small.
Us.
Look at us, two sick boys doing sick boy pods. They get a subsidy for putting animated housing because they're like, we don't want those guys on the street. We don't want the animated people on the street because they just cause so much traffic. I don't know. It really slows the world down.
Think about it. If you had a half acre,
yeah,
you could put so many little condominiums in there than instead of one normal sized one. Oh, there's a pretty good reference in they made a Waze movie, as in like the app,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the
I did see
Emoji
that.
Movie. That's a good one too. But what are your I don't know. What did you not like about this? What can you dig out of this that you did like?
Man, what did I not like about this movie? I don't know, dude. It's like it's really short. It's really short. It moves pretty fast. What did I not like about this movie? There's not really much to not like. It's like kind of got all the things that I like. Like again, this is probably not a life-changing movie for me, but it's definitely something to put on and enjoy slightly, you know, and be like, nice, cool.
Yeah, I think like there's a lot of movies you can watch and you're like, I'm not gonna watch that again, or I'm not gonna watch that again unless I get a weird itch in like 15 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is a movie I could put on every now and then just as background. Why not? It's a good like no commitment movie, or it's like I'm channel surfing. This movie's on. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'm in a hotel. I don't know, anything like that.
It's definitely a channel surf movie where you're just like, which again you would never get because you're not going to channel surf on Disney Plus, you know.
Yeah.
But if we were in a hotel, which is like a whole brand of movie, where it's like if you were in a hotel and it's like not bad enough that you're gonna like, this would be like if you find two movies, you're gonna stick with those two movies, and you'll bounce between them. And this is definitely
and
one
that's
of them.
not to undersell this movie. Like this is a very good movie, but that's more to say it's just very repeatable, and that's the kind of caliber of repeatable it is for me.
Well, because there's so much in the background.
Yeah,
There's so much going on in the background at any given point.
yeah. I think you it's something where you could pick up stuff at repeated viewings for sure.
What did you
It's
not
just
like,
stuff.
John? Let me think about if I didn't like anything.
I think the bait and switch was a little on the betrayal.
Oh
was a little
yeah.
weird. It just wasn't convincing. I was
Yeah.
like, because she was like, it was just like, I think she's from Pittsburgh or Ohio. It's like Akron or something. 1 second.
Albany. She's from
Albany,
Albany,
New York?
and yeah.
But she like the first time we see this character, she mentioned she's from Albany. It's like, okay, that's very specific and weird. All right, just moving on. And then later on, she's like, yeah, I used to watch you guys all the time. And then Chip looks at like the markets that the show would run on. He's like, wait a minute, you didn't run in Albany. And she's like, oh, my grandmother would record them.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, okay. And then he just gets suspicious. And then he's
Yeah.
like, what's your favorite episode? And she can't answer it. So now we're just excuse me. So now we're like suspicious of her. Is that a real laugh?
Yeah, that was a real laugh. Yeah.
It sounds so different because you're in so much pain.
I sound like what is it? What's the character from Return of the Jedi? You know what I'm talking about?
Babu Frick?
Babu.
That's what
No,
it sounded?
not Babu Frick. Salacious
Salacious
Crumb.
Crumb?
Salacious Crumb.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I saw somebody do something. I saw somebody do something. I'm gonna repeat their joke because it's so funny. And I'll let you get back to your thing in a second. But it was like the designer was like showing off the thing. And this one, we've got this one. It looks like a little crumb. And then George Lucas is like, ooh, what's that salacious one doing there? We got to showcase that salacious one. You're like, are you talking about this nasty little rat looking thing? It's like, yes, what's that salacious crumb doing right there? And
It's such a weird name.
salacious. You know what salacious means? It's like, yes, I do. That's a salacious.
It sounds like that kind of word.
It's a salacious crumb.
Salacious.
Is it? It's like, so it's like sultry or something. It's definitely a sexy word.
Someone or something that is sexually suggestive.
Yeah, isn't that salacious crumb? Yeah, salacious crumb.
Nothing says salacious crumb like that.
That little rat-looking thing.
What was I saying?
I don't know. The turn.
So
the Albany
whole
thing.
yeah, so that was just a very weirdly like breadcrumby, like, okay, here comes a twist, and it's like, oh, it's the Putty Guy is the bad guy. It's like, oh,
Spoiler
yeah,
alert.
whatever.
But also, yeah, that was, I would say, upon reflection and having you jog my memory, that was the thing I was like, the most, probably like, you guys could have done better. I feel like there's a better choice.
Yeah, it's just like, why are we trying to like so distrust in her out of nowhere?
Well,
it just wasn't necessary.
It's not even
we
that.
didn't need that.
It's not even that for me. It's that the Putty Guy being the bad guy, which is fine. I think make that joke, but also you've made that joke and you've made the thing, but also do another one. I don't know. Like, it feels like there's an opportunity there to go further with that bit. But they didn't do it. Whereas, like, oh, it's the captain. And then he's like, yeah, of course it's me. I was like, how cliche. And then, like, call attention to the fact that it's, like, cliche and stuff. But,
Yeah. Him coming on the Segway is so funny. I love that.
him coming what?
On the Segway, it's just such a funny little bit. You don't remember that?
Not right away.
That's like the way he moved around was on his little Segway.
Oh, yeah. I love the Uncanny
Yeah, but that's-
Valley, too.
Yep. I love the Seth Rogen
I love the
Polar
Seth.
Express guy.
I love the Seth
with his eyes
Rogens.
and- yeah, that too. That was a funny Easter egg. I was watching something that he voice acted in recently. What was it? What the fuck? Oh, it was Invincible. He voice acted Alan the Alien.
Yeah, he sure did.
But I thought, but yeah, it's, I don't know. There's not much else to say besides us just pointing out the 6 fun stuff. It's a good movie. I did go to Disney World recently, so that was fun.
Talk about that. Talk about your Disney experience, especially as a resident Disney expert.
Yeah, hardly. But
I don't know. What are you talking about,
As
Harley?
I-
Between the two of us?
yeah. I mean, I'm really pretty good with the parks and stuff. But so we went for a day and a half and did all 4 parks in a day and a half and hit almost every e-ticket attraction, including the new Guardians roller coaster.
How was that?
Was amazing. Was one of the coolest rides I've ever been on. It's essentially if Space Mountain was made today, if that means anything to
Okay.
any Disney fans out there. But it's a roller coaster, without spoiling the stuff in it.
Thank
But it's
you.
a roller coaster that rotates. Like the track, it's fixed on a track, but the cart itself rotates, and so they're able to simulate drifting while you're like going at roller coaster speeds and stuff.
Ooh.
And it's so cool, and it's I don't know, it like kind of like you'll be drifting to the left and you're like drifting to the right, and like you're moving around in space, and it's like Space Mountain but just with drifting and faster and crazy music. It's a Guardians ride, so they play songs. So we had Congo
Oh, cool.
as our song.
Oh, they play a new
Congo.
song every time?
They have 6 songs they rotate through
Oh.
that they found were perfect for it. Anyways, so that was probably the highlight there in terms of things that are new.
Okay.
And then the other rest of the week we did the Star Wars cruise, which for those who don't know, it's essentially a live action role play Star Wars hotel experience. Think
That's
of like an
crazy.
escape room mixed with Westworld, but Star Wars, and that was really cool.
How big was the space?
that-
Because you sent me a bunch of Snapchats of it, and I was trying to get
Yeah.
an idea of it, and it was like, how big is that space?
It's pretty big. It could fit 400-500 people. So you have the big atrium, and there's
How many
there's
different
a shop
rooms?
next to it. So there's the atrium, there's the shop, and then just off the atrium, as well as the shop, but just off the atrium is also the deck, like the bridge, which you go on when there's not events. And then there's a bar and a lounge, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a full bar that's always open. Just get drinks, hang out.
That's crazy.
And then, and then downstairs is the big dining room, and then there's some like rooms you can go and explore, like a brig, engine room, all these different things. and then sorry, I just gotta refresh.
You're good, dude. Refresh your
my
brain.
system.
Refresh.
I feel fine, but I couldn't speaking.
Hey, I understand. Whoa, that was a weird sound. I hope we got that. Whatever that sound. that sounded like.
That was my sinuses clearing out. Anyways,
no, I want to say what it sounded like. It sounded like a silencer, but for like a liquid gun.
it's so gross.
Yeah, I know. It was. Hey guys,
anyways.
I apologize, and also I don't apologize because this is good. This is real. This is honest.
Yeah. So then there's just like a bunch of rooms, and it's like 4 to 5 floors, and it's like really accessible with stairs and the elevators, like grav lifts and all this stuff. It's really cool. I don't want to spoil stuff. It is extremely expensive, so it is in the once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
But if you're a Star Wars fan and a fan of theater,
A sports fan?
a Star Wars fan,
Star Wars fan.
and a fan of theater, I definitely recommend it. It's you get the most out of it if you engage and you play the character and you engage with the characters.
Did you?
in an
What was your
appropriate manner.
character? What did you use?
So we were, because Christian took the lead.
Oh,
we were
boy.
people from Girth. It's like Earth, but everything's bigger.
Nice.
Just going off of his muscles and stuff.
Yep.
And we're really we kind of worked very conspicuous on purpose to so the actors would bounce off of us in interesting ways, and like I don't know, just like that string of conscious thought, like really bad excuses and like just digging yourself deeper and deeper was kind of the bit that we would just keep doing. So we wanted to go in as pod racers and blah blah blah, but it really just makes sense to just be a type of person.
Yeah.
Than to have your backstory, have that motivate you, but don't like come in like, hey, I'm this, this is my job. I don't know. So
Yeah.
that was cool, and it was obviously there was the heroes there. They had like the new heroes. There was I don't know. The new heroes are just like the mechanic and the captain and the director of passenger happiness.
Yeah.
And then the lieutenant Croy, the first order comes in to inspect things because they're suspicious, and so you have like the first order wandering the ship trying to figure things out, and you have the resistance, and then there's a scoundrel as well. You can go in a scoundrel storyline.
Ooh.
Who are kind of interweaving and working and like sabotaging and counter sabotaging, and like you're doing these things, you're making them happen, and then you go on the excursion to Batu, which is the theme park section.
Yeah.
And the missions carry out there, and you're going and investigating stuff. And I don't know, it's cool.
That's
it's
cool.
So cool. And then the food and drink are awesome. You have like these wonderful meals with just amazing food. It's all like you're eating bantha, and there's like blue shrimp and crazy drinks.
That's dope.
And so the actors and the heroes are really cool and fun to interact with. But then like the regular crew, just like employees, like serving staff and support crew, just regular like staff you'd find at any hotel restaurant setting.
Were they
are
still?
also
Were
in
they
character.
also in character? Oh.
And they would have like, oh yeah, I'm from Naboo, or I'm from whatever, I'm from Coruscant, stuff like that. And they were actually the most fun to talk to. And when you kind of connected with them, they really connected with you. And my theory is because a lot of people just go for the shiny big heroes and like the main characters and kind of treat the staff like flies on the wall or just like people
Like
there
staff?
to serve them. Yeah, exactly. And it was actually most rewarding interacting with them, and they
Well, because like the everyday stuff is like, and that's what, again, from having run D&D campaigns, people just want to talk to fucking people, like, and they're like, "What's your life like? What is it?
And
What are you doing?"
And we had the most like we never did this to get stuff, but like building a rapport with them was awesome. They would bring us free drinks. They would like, hey, did you try these snacks? I'll go get you some snacks, and like all these different things.
Yeah, make sure you
Which
guys.
is a lot of fun.
Because I feel like that too. Like for them, they're like, "Hey, these people are chill. I'm gonna make sure that they know what is cool.
Yeah.
Like-
And we went back to them a lot, and obviously they got their tips, but like there is genuine care there, I guess, and that's more
Yeah.
to speak on the employees themselves. But like they gave us snacks and we forgot them, and they somehow found where we were and had someone deliver it to us with a handwritten note, stuff like that.
Nice.
Um,
That's customer service right there, baby.
yeah.
That is customer
Um,
service.
But it was awesome. It was weird being in space and even going to Batu for that excursion, like getting to be outside and whatnot.
Oh.
Was cool, but it still like didn't take away from spending still a majority of the time in a concrete bunker pretending to be in space. It was very
That's
weird.
pretty cool.
Very cool. I definitely recommend it. In terms of if you are a thespian type or very extroverted, and if you're into Star Wars,
Yeah.
which I mean,
Who is it?
you for example, or
Yeah.
you're a big recommend as someone
Yeah.
who would get a lot from that.
Yeah, that would be fun. That'd be fun as shit. Oh man. But Rescue Rangers, are there any other sort of like animated like worlds you would want them to play in? Also, how do you feel about the Warner Brothers Smash Brothers thing? I think
wait.
that there's two separate
What
questions.
happened?
What are you talking about?
There's like a video game.
Yeah, you don't know about that?
Are they in Smash Brothers or they're making their own game?
No.
Multiverse.
Warner Brothers has their own Smash Brothers.
I mean,
Dude.
Nickelodeon has their own. A few people have done that.
Warner
That's
Brothers
fairly
Smash.
common.
Okay, well,
Yeah, with like Tom and Jerry and
Multiverses.
there's a Nickelodeon one. There's a Cartoon Network one. There's a bunch of these.
Okay, well,
They're
I didn't know that.
a dime a dozen.
John, I'm just trying to... John!
What was your other question?
What other... John's like, I don't give a shit about the thing that you think is interesting. Move on. Are there any other animated universes that you would want to see, that you would want to play in this sort of way? I mean,
In the
is
Star
there,
Wars way or in this Chippendale way?
in this
Sorry.
Chip and Dale way? I'm going back to the whole reason that we're talking here today.
Yeah, sorry. I went on my tirade, but it
Nah,
was
dude.
a fun weekend.
Let's fucking listen. I'm down to talk more about Star Wars. I recently started watching, because we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obviously, we're not going to get into that yet because Star Wars is obviously a hot button thing for us. But that got me going back to the prequels
Yeah.
to look at them again, and it's still frustrating how bad they are. But like, they're still good. They're so much better. And I feel like this is something I've said before. I know that it has. But they're better upon retrospection with the sequels being what they are.
Yep. It's cohesion. Cohesion is
Yeah.
so important. So do you mean pulling into this universe, or what do you mean exactly?
Actually, yeah. What other worlds would you want a Westworld in?
Okay. I mean, I was ready to answer the other one, but for
Yeah.
this, I think generically, I think a Lord of the Rings one would be pretty good.
Ooh.
I mean, I know there already is live action role playing, but I think like something catered and
Something with the
super high
scale
budget.
of the Star Wars one that you just did, but like Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings.
Because the full immersion experience does work in terms of making it unique, I guess. I don't know. Like, we bought costumes and stuff, too.
That's
and
awesome. Did I tell you?
It helped the immersion.
Have I ever told you my experience in an escape room?
No.
And this is kind of like par for the course because I take things too seriously. So we went to an escape room with my uncle, my cousin, my dad, and me. And so we're going through the thing. My uncle's like, let's get some fucking hints. And I'm like, bro, calm down. Let's figure this out. We got an hour here. That's why we're here. You know? He's an engineer too. And I was just like, bro, come on, let's figure this out. So anyway, we get through it at some point, and we get a little compartment, and we've got we get like an iPad or something in one of the things. And I'm like, well, this is anachronistic of the period. This is clearly to take our picture when we're done. But then we've got a cipher that we've got to fix. We've got to find. And so I'm like going crazy trying to figure out this cipher. I'm using the whiteboard to like do like a little cross section and like the sort of like the try to figure out what the codex is for this friggin' like this cipher. And we go so far and we keep getting like more and more clues, but we can't crack the cipher. And the dude who's on the thing, he's like, you guys are so close. I've never seen somebody work so hard to not be in the right direction. And like he like sort of like helps us out with the cipher, and I'm like, that's annoying. Those don't, there's no mathematical formula. This is just random. How was I supposed to fucking get this? And then we die, and he tells us, and he takes the iPad and he opens the iPad, and there's an answer to the cipher right there, because that's what the iPad was for. And I was
Wait,
like,
so you guys spent an hour?
Yeah, we spent an hour.
Past the first thing.
No. It wasn't the first thing. We got several things, but it was like we spent the last like 20 minutes as this train is barreling down toward the thing, toward the edge of the cliff or whatever, and we have to figure out how to cut the brake line or some bullshit. And I was like, we're gonna solve this cipher. Like, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna solve it, and. It's not solvable. It was a fucking 100% was a like a completely random with a key, and that was and I was like, well, that's bullshit. You got to write a cipher so I can solve the cipher. Guys, come on.
Yeah, I once was at an escape room. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose.
Dude, blow your nose. I think one of my favorite setup bits that is awful in this movie, but is also great, is when Chip is like, oh, why do I gotta make all these cartoon guys rap? And they gotta make all these cartoon guys rap. No one wants to see this. And then when it comes their time to rap, they're just like, I would never eat whale. Never gonna eat whale. Not me. Never. Uh-oh.
Yeah, like how like in a Mormon movie is like, hey, I'm a showman. I'm a natural, but that's like they sucked at it.
Yeah.
Which is nice, and
yeah. I thought it was good.
Yeah. Well, so I did a escape room with like it was like me and some friends, and then like there was like a couple rednecks, and they kept trying to bust out their multi-tool to break into things.
The guy was like, "Stop! Stop!
Yeah,
don't do that.
Like, just
you're not allowed to break stuff."
Yeah. Anyways,
that's my least kind of that's my least favorite person. Who's like, well, let's just set it on fire, and it's like, no, you gotta play, like you gotta play, you gotta have. Come on, you gotta play.
I think an interesting kind of like to answer your original version of the question about like what I want to see in this Chip and Dale universe.
Yeah,
is maybe the Toy Story characters.
Ooh, like off duty.
Are they still toys, or are they sentient things that look like toys?
Yeah,
and maybe that existential crisis that I don't know what drama's there, but I feel like that's interesting.
I feel like the only problem with that is that that's too close to what the movies are about.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, because the movies are about them being toys or not, or like they're sort of like deal with that.
That's true.
But that's not to say that it's not rife. I mean, they made 4 movies about it.
Yeah, it was just the first thing that came to my brain. I don't know, maybe stuff like the little like maybe something with like God, was it Land of the Lost with Littlefoot?
Yeah.
And Sarah.
Yeah. And Ducky.
Like, Yeah, maybe how like Jurassic
li-
Park kind of ruined their career. I saw an article how like Jurassic Park has monopolized dinosaur movies,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, I saw that yesterday, and now I'm putting this pitch together because of that. But
Yeah.
maybe something about typecasting and more explore that, and maybe I don't know, maybe something there where we can explore that, like in more of a, because this movie touches in the kind of has-been way, but like this is like a has-been way that's out of their control because of the whims and the flow of the industry or trends or whatever with Hollywood, right? And so that could just be interesting where we see that on the emotional toll, and like I don't know, like I feel like it could be a darker story about like Littlefoot and like all these, and Sarah and all of them like just not having jobs because Steven Spielberg made such a good dinosaur franchise.
Yeah. And then them also being like, that's not, come on, that's not how it is or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
So I think to answer my question, what universe I would want to like do like a LARP in would be like Blade Runner. That'd be fucking scary. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I was going to say something Cyberpunk for sure.
Yeah.
Which have you heard of Meow Wolf?
Yeah, I've heard of Meow Wolf. I fucking love that shit.
So if you like Meow Wolf Denver, I've been to, and I think that would be as cool. Like they can do that. It wouldn't be hard. Also, Meow Wolf as like interactive kind of walkthrough artistic gallery.
Yeah.
I think Disney should do that. So it's not a full-on like experience that you need to pay like $6,000 for, but it is still a full-on like immersive experience where you're in a world.
Well,
and Disney has that in spades everywhere, but it's just like
kind of what the lines are. Like that's sort of what the line is up to.
Yeah.
It
definitely is. And so it's like, I don't know. It's just like, but to another whole level where you're just in a functioning world.
Yeah.
Of like, I don't know, Atlantis, you know?
Yeah.
Not that that's a popular property, but like that movie's still great. But like being in Atlantis or whatever. And Disney has the perfect place for it. They have the old Quest building / NBA building, and it's just this huge show building. And it's a perfect blueprint for a Meow Wolf type place. Hell, just maybe Meow Wolf builds their next immersive experience there and it's not Disney related. Or it's Disney themed. I don't know. But, you know, like just being in a cyberpunk world would be sick. I don't know. I have to look at Disney properties to see what world would be cool for them to recreate.
Well, if they did like
an interactive experience.
I mean, if they did like Blade Runner, I think Blade Runner is Warner Brothers, so Warner Brothers could do it. Because
I would be there so fast.
Yeah, I would definitely do. And you could, and the thing
is...
Oh,
Wakanda? That would be sick.
Yeah.
A Guardians Making Nowhere, or whatever that planet is.
I mean, but that's just Star Wars. You're just
Tron, even.
Ooh, Tron would be good. I would still prefer...
That could be fun.
I would prefer, like, I'm just thinking about, like, a giant building where they've just, like... They're a giant building where they've got, like, the sky projected, and they've just, like, sort of constantly got rain falling. That'd be kind of cool.
Like real rain, or like just in the things?
No, real rain. Are you kidding me? It's movie business. Let's go, dude. They got real rain. You gotta get people be like, hey, listen, don't get walking pneumonia, like Patrick got whenever he was a sixth grader and tried out for lacrosse. That was my one experience. I tried out for lacrosse. It was for a week. It was like in the rain, and I got walking pneumonia.
Yeah, I just sent you that big building that they're using.
That'd be
like became an NBA place, and then it shut down after like barely any time being open.
Oh,
so
was
like
it
this building that just hasn't been able to be functional?
Was that what they used for the bubble?
I don't think they played in it. It was like just a fan center.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, the NBA experience.
The NBA experience?
Yeah. So I feel like there's I feel like that's a
NBA
good solution to
experience.
this. Like, hire me, Imagineering. Bring me on. I will
What,
design this place.
what
for
is
you.
the NBA experience? NBA
It was this
experience.
big thing. I think the pandemic, like summer 2019. So it had like 7 months of operation, but then it shut down.
Yeah. They found a use
I think
for it.
Oh, what
Found
is
a
it?
use for the empty NBA experience building. I'm looking. NBA experience
think
not
eclectic-
reopened.
I think eclectic Disney conversation is fair for this movie, by the way.
I think it's fair. I feel good. How's Disney Quest, VR experience, NBA
That's what it
experience?
was.
Oh, this is a long article. I don't want to read this whole article right now. I don't have time.
I don't want to read.
I don't have time. It looks like it might be Galaxy's Edge. Like they might be putting some Galaxy Edge stuff there, or like some VR
it might just
experience,
be
like VR banks maybe. Oh, it's not even that long of an article. It's just like all ads at the end. Listen, hey, well, tune in to Stinky Popcorn Boys and listen to them be sick and talk about the internet.
Just being some sick boys. Just
Sick
I'm a
boys.
boy.
I'm just
Those guys
a
are-
sick old boy.
Sick old boy.
Uh,
I'm glad their 15 minutes of fame are up.
They'll be back. They'll be back in 5 years with something else.
Every summer.
Every summer,
They
every
just
summer,
embarrass
they'll just come out
themselves.
with Island Boy. With my island, there'll be an Island Boy VR experience or Island Boy.
Oh no. I think I can think of other things.
It's just you put it on and it's just them like sitting at a convention like Dale being like, "You want me to sign an autograph? No, okay. Sign an autograph? No, okay. Sign an autograph?
I don't
No?
know.
Okay.
I don't know if they could take rejection to their fame, even if they're volunteering it. What was I going to say though?
Something cute.
Oh, so what do you rate this movie?
I'm gonna give it
Come in.
3 chips out of 5 Dales.
I give it 3.5 Dales out of 5 chips.
Oh,
Makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm one upping you.
yeah. You're just one up.
Yeah,
me.
I mean, it's just a fun movie. I recommend it as I mentioned earlier. Like if just watch it if you hit that 25 to 40 demographic.
yeah.
and
If you
watched
don't,
a lot
if
of
you
these
don't,
things in the past,
don't watch
you
it.
have a good time.
If you don't, if you're not 25, if you're not 25, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, gatekeeping it. But no, anyone can enjoy this. I'm just saying if you're within that, it's a hard recommend.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
Go watch it. You will enjoy it.
You don't have to have a
Um,
kid first.
No, not required. In terms of what I've been watching, I went to Disney.
Yeah, what
so
are you
I didn't
watching?
Having a lot of watching time, but I did watch Happy Gilmore on the flight up,
Oh,
and that movie holds up. It's a good movie.
yeah, it's a fun
I can't. You can't say the same for other movies from that time, but this one is definitely one of the exceptions. Just good flick. And then watch Black Panther on the way back home.
Ooh, that's why
And,
you're thinking about Wakanda.
Yeah, and good film. I mean, nothing surprising there. But
That's a slick
how
one.
about you?
I've been watching the NBA Finals and Stranger Things. I've been watching Stranger Things. I'm already all the way done with season 7, part 1. I fucking devoured that shit.
So you're rewatching through it.
Yeah, sort of. I'm rewatching. I started watching season 1 again, but I'm not
Nice.
like
I've been debating if I should start over.
to just like. Have you watched
Or
season
just-
2, or season 7, or season 4?
I feel like I remember season 1. I remember the season with the mall,
Uh huh.
and
That's
then I
season
can't
3.
remember.
Season 2, you probably don't need to think about it.
Is it just random?
It's kind of just like they just didn't do a good job, or they
Is
did
it where
fine.
the boy
They-
goes missing again?
Yes, well, no, I think that's where 11 goes to Chicago and stuff, and like finds other people, and it sort of like weirdly breaks continuity and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would go back and watch it. I went back and watched after I watched season 4. I went back and watched like some of season 1 just to be like, how do we get here? That's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so weird that it's a cultural phenomenon.
It's
I also
so
want to
big.
rewatch season 1 just so I could pick up the D&D stuff. Now
Yeah.
that I know what it is.
Yeah. But that's what I've been watching. That's
Nice.
that's what I've been watching. NBA Finals and Stranger Things. It's
Nice. Yeah, I watched a little bit Stanley Cup playoffs. The Avs are in the finals.
They already?
No, it's either.
Jesus.
Yep, they swept the
I saw that
The Oilers.
the Rangers or who's the other team? The other team made it 2-1 recently.
the Rangers are up 2-1 on the Lightning.
Yeah,
So
I saw
that's
that.
still going on. But the Avs get plenty of rest.
Oof.
But
Man.
yeah.
Well,
That's been happening in our neck of the woods.
that's been happening in our
But,
neck of the wave.
If you made it through this far in our sickly episode, this is the sick episode.
This
in
is the sick
annals
episode.
of SPB history.
Not because
thank you
it's
for
like
hanging out.
gross and sexy and stuff, but we are literally sick.
Yep. Sorry.
We appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for John. Thanks for giving me a reason to get out of bed. Otherwise, I probably just would have slept. And I was already sleeping too much.
After this, I'm going back
I might go back to sleep too.
binging Invincible. I'm watching Invincible.
Ooh, I love Invincible. Well, as they say in Los Angeles, have you seen my reel? I could send you a link to my reel. I've got a QR code on the back of my my resume. Actually, did you want my resume? I'll give you my resume. That's what they say in LA all the time. They're just like, look at me. Oh, look at me.
I believe it.
Oh,
believe
look at me. And now signing off, Patrick Basquel with his sexiest voice ever.
Later.